Once upon a time, there was a young Viking warrior named Erik, who dreamed of becoming a hero and joining the gods in Valhalla. He was the son of a famous chieftain, who had died in battle when Erik was a child. Erik inherited his father's sword, shield, and courage, but he also felt the pressure of living up to his legacy. And every day, he trained hard, fought bravely, and worshipped Odin, the king of the gods and the god of war. He was respected and admired by his fellow warriors, but he also felt restless and bored. He longed for a great adventure, a glorious deed, a worthy challenge. He wanted to prove himself to the gods and the people, and to earn his place in the halls of Valhalla. Until one day, he heard a rumor that a dragon was terrorizing a nearby village, and that whoever could slay it would earn great glory and honor. The rumor said that the dragon was huge and fierce, that it breathed fire and smoke, that it guarded a vast treasure of gold and jewels, and that it had killed many brave men who had tried to face it. Erik felt a surge of courage and curiosity, mixed with a hint of fear and doubt. He wondered if he was ready for this, if he could prove himself to the gods and the people. He took a deep breath and said, "I'll do it. I'll slay the dragon." And because of that, he decided to take on the challenge and set off to find and kill the dragon, hoping to impress the gods and the people. He packed his sword, shield, and axe, and mounted his horse. He bid farewell to his mother, his friends, and his lover, who begged him to be careful and come back alive. He promised them that he would return victorious, or die with honor. He rode away, following the trail of the dragon's destruction, and because of that, he encountered many dangers and difficulties along the way, such as storms, bandits, and wild beasts, but he also met some allies and friends, such as a wise old man, a beautiful maiden, and a loyal wolf. The wise old man was a skald, a poet and storyteller, who knew many tales and secrets about the world, the gods, and the dragon. He taught Erik some of the lore and magic of the Vikings, such as the creation of the universe, the 9 realms, the tree of life, the runes, the prophecies, and the fate of the gods and men. He also gave Erik a gift, a horn that could summon the help of the gods in times of need. The beautiful maiden was a princess, who had escaped from a cruel king who wanted to marry her against her will. She was brave and clever, and she fell in love with Erik at first sight. She helped Erik find the lair of the dragon, and she offered to join him in his quest. Erik was smitten by her beauty and charm, but he also felt guilty for betraying his lover at home. He accepted her help, but he refused her love. The loyal wolf was a cub, who had lost his pack and his mother to the dragon. He was hungry and wounded, and he followed Erik out of curiosity and gratitude. He became Erik's faithful companion, and he saved Erik's life more than once. He also had a secret: he was a son of Fenrir, the monstrous wolf who was destined to kill Odin at the end of the world. And because of that, he learned many things about the world, himself, and the mythology of the Vikings. He also faced many challenges and choices that tested his skills, his morals, and his faith. He had to fight against enemies and rivals, who also sought the dragon and its treasure. He had to resist the temptations and traps that the dragon and the gods laid for him. He had to deal with the consequences and conflicts that his actions and decisions caused. He had to question his motives and goals, and what he really wanted from his life and his death. Until finally, he reached the lair of the dragon, and after a fierce and epic battle, he managed to slay it and claim its treasure, but not without paying a price. He was mortally wounded and dying. He also discovered a shocking truth: the dragon was actually a cursed god, who had been banished and transformed by Odin for his crimes. The god was Loki, the trickster and the father of monsters, who was also the blood brother of Odin. Loki told Erik that he had orchestrated the whole thing, that he had lured him to his doom, that he had used him as a pawn in his plan to escape his fate and start the final war between the gods and the giants. Loki also told Erik that he had a choice: he could either die as a hero and go to Valhalla, or he could live as a villain and join him in his rebellion. Erik was stunned and enraged by Loki's words, and he realized that he had been fooled and betrayed by the god he had worshipped and trusted. He also realized that he had made many mistakes and regrets, and that he had wasted his life and his love. He decided to reject Loki's offer, and to blow the horn that the Skald had given him, hoping that Odin would hear him and help him. And ever since then, he was remembered as a hero and a legend, and his spirit was welcomed by the gods in Valhalla, where he lived happily ever after. But he also unknowingly triggered the beginning of the end, and his actions and choices had a lasting impact on the world and the gods. For when he blew the horn, he not only alerted Odin, but also awakened the giants, who began their invasion of Asgard. And when he killed the dragon, he not only freed Loki, but also released the wolf, who grew up to be Fenrir, who broke his chains and ran to join his father. And when he died, he not only left behind his treasure, but also his lover, who was pregnant with his child, who grew up to be a great king, who inherited his father's sword, shield, and courage, but also his destiny.